Hi guys, welcome back for another look at the Star Trek The Official Starships collection by Eagle Moss. I have in front of me issue number 43, which is the Species 8472 Bioship. My normal subscription hasn't arrived yet. I normally get them around the 10th of the month, 10 to the 15th of the month. And I was at my comic shop today, like I go every Wednesday, which is Jeffrey's Comics in Gardena. And they had this waiting for me, as they do all the time, because for a while there I thought I wasn't going to be able to get these by subscribing, so I went to my local comic shop, and they graciously get them every month for me. So as a result, sometimes I end up with duplicates, and I usually end up giving them away, or whatever friends or want them, or whatever the case. But anyway, so my subscription hasn't arrived yet, and I'm assuming, I think it's this very same ship and the Intrepid from Enterprise. So that one I look forward to getting. So yeah, I got this today. So you get to be here with me as I open it up for the first time. So let's get started. So here it is in the bag. For those of you who don't subscribe to the collection, this is what they look like when you don't actually subscribe. When you actually are a subscriber, they come in a box in the mail, and the ship box is in there, and the magazines are usually packed at the bottom of the box, covered up by other papers and things. But if you get it through a magazine shop or a comic book store or hobby shop or news agents if you're in Europe or whatever the case, then they will look something like this. And depending on the time of the issue, you might find a sticker on it like this that advertises the upcoming special. So anyway, so here it is in the bag. So let's cut this thing open. My thumb will do. Got our magazine here and the ship. So we'll put this thing aside and take a look at the magazine here. A little bent, but that's okay. So here it is. The Species 8472 Bioship seen in Star Trek Voyager in the 4th season, I believe, in the episode Scorpion. So let's see. It is an organic type ship. It is launched in the 24th century. It is 50 meters long with a crew complement of only one. Just one. Turn the page, and you have your table of contents and your ship specifications, as well as the usual diagram showing you how to attach the model to the stand, which is included. Let's see, it's an organic ship launched in the 24th century. Its origin is in fluidic space. It is approximately 50 meters long and a crew of one. And it is powered by an electrodynamic fluid as well as biogenic energy beams for weaponry. So there you have that. Turn the page and you have an interesting image of the ship, which I think is the same one as the front cover, but that's okay, as well as some text about the Species 8472 ship. Turning the page, you have more screenshots from the episode Scorpion and I believe some other episodes that they've appeared in. You can kind of see from the screenshots that they were fighting the Borg. A little side note here, for those of you who aren't familiar with Species 8472, this was like Star Trek Voyager upping the stakes or changing the game somewhat, because the first 3 seasons of Star Trek Voyager were kind of like, to be honest. I was excited at the time when the original show was on the air, meaning that back in like 1995 when Star Trek Generations came out. I was probably in like the 5th or 6th grade, and I remember you know, the announcement of Star Trek Voyager and seeing the pilot and thinking it was like awesome at the time. And but the whole idea of them being stranded on the other side of the galaxy, while that sounded appealing to some, it just felt strange to me. But I can understand that it introduced some new races and they were free to pretty much do whatever they wanted. But anyway, Species 8472 was introduced at the end of the, I believe it's the 3rd season, in an episode called Scorpion Part 1. Basically, the premise of that episode is that Voyager stumbles across a group, or stumbles across a debris field of Borg ships, and they investigate, and they just don't understand how the Borg could have been like blown to bits. And as it turns out, Species 8472 made their entrance, and basically there were these organic beings from another dimension or another realm or whatever that came into the galaxy to invade, or mostly to fight the Borg, because it was later revealed in the episodes of the second part that the Borg attacked them and tried to assimilate them, but their assimilation efforts and their attacks backfired, and Species 8472, which is actually the Borg designation for the race, is not necessarily the name of the race. I don't think that's pretty much unknown. No one really knows, but that's what they become known as, Species 8472, by the Borg designation. So yeah, they attacked the Borg and damn near destroyed them, until Voyager came along and got involved in that little conflict. And for the rest, you'll just have to find out by watching the episodes. So yeah, and there's what they look like right there. Ugly little creatures. And here's a diagram. Oh, this little special thing fell out, which I think is for the JJ Verse Klingon ship, which is not really my favorite ship and doesn't really look like a Klingon ship. But I guess when this thing eventually comes, I'll be sharing that with you later. But so here's the image of the ship, the centerfold page. Nice little diagram there. Not much information because we don't really know much about it. And the designing of the ship, with some concept artwork there. More concept art, and a nice array of text there. And more concept art and text. And more artwork and text. And finally, our on-screen appearances page, with a couple of images there. Their first appearance was in the episode called Scorpion Part 1, which was a cliffhanger episode. It's only appeared in Star Trek Voyager, and no other shows or movies. And it was designed by Steve Berg. And yeah, that totally changed the game on Voyager. And it was also the first appearance of 7 of 9, which was every male Star Trek fans, or at least the straight ones, that is, their favorite female Borg. 7 of 9, played by none other than Jeri Ryan. And she later became a part of the cast and crew, and became a valued member of the Voyager crew. So there she is in her Borg guise. And oh, here's some interesting trivia. It says in Scorpion Part 2, 7 of 9 says that she has been in the Borg Collective for 18 years. This would mean that she was about 24 years old, approximately. And it is later revealed in the episode Raven that she was taken by the Borg at the age of 6. I can't imagine anything more terrifying or traumatizing than that. And the heap of dismembered Borg seen aboard the disabled cube in Scorpion Part 1 was comprised of a pile of Borg action figures made by Playmates Toys. Oh, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I never would have known that. And that's the picture right there. Makes me want to look at the action figures that I have a little bit more. Pretty cool. So yeah, and that's the magazine for the Species 8472. Next time you'll see me, I'll be taking a look at this ship, the Intrepid from Enterprise, which I look forward to getting, which hopefully should be here in a few days. But until then, and here's the back, the ship. So there's our magazine, put it aside, and let's get to the ship itself. There it is, as usual. It comes in the box with the various Star Trek series logos, and on the back, of course. So let's open this thing up. And the ship itself. First impression. Well, this thing is small. I guess it kind of should be, because it was a small ship in the episodes. It's, I think, a small part of it is plastic, small part of it is metal, but the rest of it is plastic, fairly light. It looks almost like a pencil, or the best way I can describe it, I guess, would be a torpedo. Or if you had told me this was a drone ship or something, I probably would have believed you. I guess the engine or drive section system thing is in the back, and you can kind of see in the greenery area there, it looks a little organic looking. Looks cool. It's a nice paint job that Eaglemoss has done, which is pretty good. To be honest with you, I was not really looking forward to this ship. I was dreading it, in fact. This was not really one of the ships that I was kind of like begging for with the collection. I was really happy with the Furuta one that came out a few years ago. So I didn't really need to have this, but you know, in the interest of being a completist, you have to get them anyway. But this one, the paint looks pretty amazing. They did a pretty good job at it. I don't really see any flaws or defects. And I'm assuming that little hole in the middle is the weapons thing that we see that annihilates planets, seen in the opening shot, the opening scenes from Scorpion. But yeah, it looks decent. It's a decent model. I can't say it's an ugly model. The model looks great, but it's not really my favorite ship in the Star Trek universe, so it's not like I was jumping for joy when I realized that I would be receiving this ship this month, or be getting it this month. So yeah, I mean, it's good, and I'm glad that it's a part of the collection. Again, it just shows Eaglemoss's commitment to having a wide variety of ships across the entire Star Trek universe. This is probably one of the smaller ships that we've gotten so far. And yeah, I mean, it looks alright, it's cool. If you're a fan of Star Trek Voyager, I would say get this. If you're not a fan of Voyager, this is probably one that you should skip. You know, it's just one of those things, a matter of taste, I guess. So yeah, so thanks Eaglemoss for doing it. You did a good job on this model. I don't really have any complaints on it. It's just small, but I'm guessing it's more in scale with how it was in the episode. So there's our Species 8472 bioship. You can kind of see how small it is. And as usual, it comes with the stand, which says Species 8472 bioship on the bottom there. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. The next time you'll see me, I will hopefully have the Intrepid in front of me. So take care, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.